Well, one of the planning commissioners sent me a picture. He was sitting there with his name. Going in, saying, I'm coming for you. Oh, that'd be great. That's right. This gentleman is really tall, so he was here to when we had that discussion. Make sure you adjust the chair for those long legs of yours. Yeah. Yes. As you may, you probably recognize right now. Good morning. I'm going to call to order the public meeting for the Arapahoe County Board of County Commissioners for November 20th, 2018. To my left is John Christopherson, the Deputy County Attorney. To my far right is Jolene Sanchez, the Assistant Clerk to the Board. Ms. Sanchez, would you please call the roll?
Commissioner Jackson?
Here.
Commissioner Holland?
Here.
Commissioner Shaw is absent and excused.
Correct.
Commissioner Conti?
Good morning.
Good morning. Commissioner Baker?
Here. Commissioner Holland, would you lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
Please join me. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Mr. Christopherson, are there any modifications to the agenda this morning?
There are no modifications today.
Thank you. I would entertain a motion to adopt the agenda.
I so move.
Motion made by Commissioner Holland, seconded by Commissioner Jackson. All in favor?
Aye.
That motion carries. This is the time that we've set aside for citizens to comment on anything that is not currently scheduled to be discussed on the agenda this morning. Are there any citizens that would like to address the Board of County Commissioners? I see none in the room, so we will move on to approval of the minutes. We have two sets of minutes to approve. The first set is from October 23rd, 2018, and we did have a full board. Are there any questions or comments about those minutes?
Mr. Chair, I move to approve.
Motion made by Commissioner Conti and seconded by Commissioner Holland. All in favor? Aye. That motion carries and those minutes are approved. The second set of minutes that we have are from October 30th, 2018, and Commissioner Jackson, you were absent and excused during that meeting. Are there any comments or questions about those minutes?
I move approval.
Second.
Motion made by Commissioner Holland, seconded by Commissioner I'm just having problems with your name today. Conti, all in favor? Aye. Those minutes are approved for October 30th. And one abstention, correct. I would entertain a motion to approve the items on the consent agenda or for any comments or questions about any of those.
Second.
Motion made by Commissioner Jackson, seconded by Commissioner Holland. All in favor?
Aye.
That motion carries and the items on the consent agenda are approved. We have one public hearing today. This is case number PF 18-003, Welsh Subdivision Filing Number 13, Final Plat for Governor's Run. And our presenter this morning is Kathleen Hammer, planner with Public Works and Development. The attorney on this case is Robert Hill, the Senior Assistant County Attorney. Mr. Hill, would you please set the foundation for us?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chair. This final plat application has been noticed by mailing, publication, and posting of the property, all in accordance with the Land Development Code. The board has jurisdiction to proceed.
Thank you very much, Ms. Hammer. I did note that one thing in the board summary report is that somehow the word copperleaf did inadvertently get transferred over into that board summary report, and I believe it was in the language of the noticing as well, but that seems to be just a typographical error.
Correct. It is within the Welch subdivision.
Great. Thank you very much. Good morning.
Good morning, Commissioners. Kat Hammer from Public Works, Planner 2. The case before you tonight is PF 18-00 today. Pardon me, is PF 18-003, Welsh subdivision. The applicant, General Homes LLC, on behalf of the owner, Victor Mitchell, is requesting approval of this application. The application proposes dividing a 1.69 acre property known as Tract 17 Welch subdivision into 4 lots and includes 3 tracts, 1 tract for water quality, 1 tract for a private road, and 1 tract for a private park. The property is located at the intersection of East Jewel Circle and South Clinton Street and is located in Commissioner District Number 4. The surrounding property is single-family residence. The property is located within the 4 square mile neighborhood. The final plat includes 4 lots, like I mentioned, and Tract C, which is proposed as a private park, which is encompassing 0.175 acres. The initial staff report draft motions included this private park to be dedicated in lieu of all the public park cash in lieu fees. After further analysis, per section 14-111-07-02 of the LDC in regards to the private park, the Board of County Commissioners has the option to determine if this privately owned park lands are appropriate to receive credit against the requirement of this section. The amount of credit to be allowed shall not exceed 35% of the requirement for cash in lieu for private parks. I have asked to distribute a new motion sheet that indicates this. The new motion includes accepting the privately owned park for 35% of what is required for cash in lieu for public parks. If the BOCC finds fitting, it would be within the best interest of the public. The new draft motions also include condition number 3, which is updated to reflect the correct amounts due for cash in lieu. Condition number 4, which requires maintenance that is not in the responsibility of Arapahoe County. And condition number 5, which further provides that the maintenance will be within the HOA and not within Arapahoe County. I stand for any questions, and the applicant is not here, but I believe he is on his way.
Thank you very much. Questions for Commissioner Jackson?
Yeah, I originally, before you clarified it and modified the motion, I was going to ask you about this little park, but so it does indicate that the HOA will be responsible and open spaces won't be. But I was wondering how you came up with the 35%, because that's kind of always an issue in that area, is not enough open space and parks and so on. So I agree that a certain portion should should be cash in lieu so that it can be used in other parts of the area. But I'm just curious how you came up with the 35%.
I can address it. It's actually in the Land Development Code, and 14-111.07.02 provides, if the Board of County Commissioners determines that privately owned parklands are appropriate to receive credit against the requirements of this section, the amount of credit to be allowed shall not exceed 35% of the requirement.
Thank you. Maybe that's it. Yeah, and just again, as Commissioner Baker said, on our BSR, it does say Copperleaf filing number 13. So I don't know if that has to be formally amended, but we certainly want to straighten that out because it was confusing to us at first.
I will address that. Thank you.
Okay, very good. All right, thank you.
Any other questions or comments? We do have the applicant on their way. Would that be appropriate to wait, or do we need to? Can we move forward?
I personally don't have a problem moving forward.
I don't have him.
Sure, districts.
Yeah.
I don't want the applicant to feel that we didn't give them a chance. We don't know how long they're going to be, do we?
He indicated that he went to Lima Plaza.
Oh, so he'll be at least half an hour.
Yeah, 9:31. He sent me an email indicating he went to the wrong location.
So I don't know. Do you think it would be appropriate to take a 15-minute break or something and come back? I don't know that we have any other business to take care of, and we do have the time. I just feel that it would be unfair to the applicant if we didn't give them some time, given traffic and the length of this county.
15-minute recess would, I think, be appropriate. At least 15 minutes, maybe 20 minutes.
Give the applicant time to arrive.
Would you make that motion?
I would move that we take a 20-minute recess until the applicant has a chance to get here.
Second.
Motion made by Commissioner Jackson, seconded by Commissioner Holden. All in favor? Aye. That motion carries. We are in recess until, we'll say, 9:55. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I mean,
Well, they do have two options on the cash in lieu, with the allowing credit for the private park or not, which is a board option.
Your mic's No problem. I'll go with you.
a little late. Perfect, yeah, all right.
That's a nice flat drive, but, I'm just worried our eyes on, if like, the weather we've had before. That was that crazy thing.
Yeah, we left on Saturday. Trying to get over there.
Yeah.
An hour. Yeah, it's cute.
Yeah. Wedding shirt. Yeah.
My husband just bought a 25-pound turkey. Yes, indeed.
Dan has been making turkey at my house with my son. So it will be interesting.
Yeah.
To see.
How's he doing?
Dan's doing well. You have children. Don't you have kids? Even though they're like your age. We still worry.
Well, I've got a 40-year-old. Your
Dan
son
is
is good. Yeah. Two? But they still want us. They still want us to sleep in the basement.
Dan is not in the basement.
Thank God.
His mother subsidizes him.
Yeah. Well, we flew back yesterday. There was toddler on the plane, a couple of rows behind us. Talk about a pair of vocal cords in the front of that child.
It hurts their ears.
They don't understand it. We don't know. Well, she wasn't, it wasn't. It was,
She was just not happy.
it took off. It was kind of funny. It was a total understanding. But also shrill, scream. Then, as the flight got on, she got cranky. Happy, shrill scream.
It wasn't fun.
No.
Okay, so I got clarity here.
Yeah, the Robinson.
I'm glad you did, but I wasn't even thinking. It's like I just thought it was right. Yeah, exactly. It's not too clogged up. So it's
Yes, this is contingent on the approval of the ASP too. So, this, once we get it, my everything will be signed and recorded and the ASP goes through.
these guys. Corrections.
Correct.
5 days review.
Yeah, moving forward is 5 days, 5 days, 5 days. I don't know if I can come through for this one now, but let me look. That wasn't the last one.
Okay, we are back from recess. We are continuing to hear case number PF 18-003. Thank you. We're back from recess. We're continuing the case of PF 18-003 Welsh Subdivision Filing Number 13 Final Plat. And we took a recess until the applicant could arrive. We understand the applicant is here and would invite him forward. And please state your name and address for the record.
Good morning. Thanks for waiting for me. I got a little bit of a head cold, so I think the cold medicine's caught up to me. Anyhow, Brian Dotson, 2058 South Emerson Street, Denver, Colorado, 80210.
Good. Good morning.
Morning.
We just had the initial presentation from our planning staff and would like to just invite you to address the board with anything that you have in support of this final plat application.
Well, we've been here a couple times. I recognize most of you, so I appreciate everything that everybody's done for us and getting us to this point. We're excited to get going on it and get the ASP finalized as well and get land development going while we still got a really good market out there for homes.
Well, thank you very much. Any questions for Mr. Dotson? Okay. Commissioner Conti.
Just one question. Was it your idea to make this park private, or was it simply the Open Space Department lack of desire to maintain and so forth, that their request to you for it to be private?
hours. And in fact, we didn't really want the park in the first place. We actually wanted to get a little bit more density and make that into a fifth lot. But the neighborhood group and I just went through the whole process and decided 4 was a good number, and we made that a park.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Any additional comments or questions? Thank you, sir. We
Thank you.
appreciate it. Any further discussion, or I would entertain a motion?
Well, thank you. I think it's a totally appropriate project for this particular space. So I move to approve in the case of PF 18-003, Welsh Subdivision Filing Number 13, Final Plat. I have reviewed the staff report, including all exhibits and attachments, and have listened to the applicant's presentation. And any public comment is presented. Did we need to open it for public comment?
That's true. Yes, we do. Thank you very much.
Shall I pause?
Yes. I'm going to open up for public comment. Thank you. Are there any members of the public that would like to address the Board of County Commissioners on PF 18-003? Seeing none, I close the public comment and would ask Commissioner Jackson to continue with her motion.
Okay, Jolene, should I start from the beginning? Oh, okay, so let's see here. We've listened to the applicant's presentation, and any public comment is presented at the hearing, and hereby move to approve this application based on the findings in the staff report, subject to the following conditions. 1, prior to the signature of the final copy of these plans, the applicant must address Public Works staff comments and concerns. 2, based on this board's finding that a privately owned park is in the public interest, Tract C, the private park, encompassing 0.175 acres, will be counted toward 35% of the overall cash in lieu required for public parks per section 14-11.07.02 of the Arapahoe County Land Development Code. The applicant will pay the remaining 65% of the cash in lieu required, $11,428.56 prior to recording of the plat. 3, the applicant will pay a total amount of cash in lieu of $32,109.66 prior to recording of the plat, to be distributed as follows. Schools, $19,948.50. Public park, $11,428.56. And other public purposes, $732.60. Tract C, the private park, shall be maintained in perpetuity by the owners, homeowner association, and/or entity other than Arapahoe County. 5, the applicant must provide CC&Rs in writing to the Public Works Department prior to recording of the plat to ensure that the private ownership and maintenance of Tract C, the private park, is adequately provided. Approval of PF 18-003, Welsh Subdivision Filing Number 13, Final Plat, is contingent on the approval of ASP 18-006, Welsh Subdivision, Governor's Run Administrative Site Plan.
Motion. Come forward, please, so you can be recorded on the microphone.
Thank you, and this is probably why I wasn't here. That decision was made on the 35%, but the owner of the property wants to have the flexibility of paying the higher fee and not doing the CC&Rs before recordation. Is that an option?
I think that's a question for our planning staff. Ms. Hammer? The question is there an option for the applicant to, and maybe the new motions that you've just distributed are going to cover that. Can you comment, please?
So what I believe the applicant is asking is that he does not want to provide those CC&Rs, and he would rather pay more to the cash in lieu for public parks, then provide those CC&Rs. And he's requesting that, I believe he's requesting that he pays the cash in lieu for full. I think it's that 17 number that is in condition 2 or 3 on there that relates to cash in lieu.
Mr. Hill, is there a legal?
I don't think so. As I had understood this was being presented, there was a request to use the private park for credit for the cash in lieu or donation option for public parks. And since, in order for the private park to be allowed as a credit for the public obligation of the park, that the board has to make the finding that it's in the public interest and it's subject to the 35% limitation. If they just want to pay the full cash in lieu for the area public parks and not have a mandated or use the private park for any kind of credit towards that, then I think that's fine.
Commissioner Jackson.
Yes, so we will have this little parcel that was going to be a park. Does that mean you're going to increase the density, or you're just going to allot that land to the various houses for their own lawns or whatever they do with it?
No, we're still keeping everything intact. I'm not the ultimate developer, neither is the owner. The owner wants to sell the property to a developer. And so that developer would produce the HOA, the whole CC&R documents and everything else. So we're just not in a position to do that right now.
If in the future at some time the ultimate developer wanted to turn that private park into, say, a lot, that would require an amendment of this plat, and it would come back before the board for.
Okay, so if we modified this and you went ahead and did the cash in lieu, that is not going to change the number of houses or the number of lots that you've got at this point.
Correct.
So the density would stay the same.
Correct.
Thank you. That's my concern.
So we do have a motion on the table. I believe that we've also been handed a modified motion sheet. And so I don't know if you would like to withdraw that motion and
Can I just do a friendly amendment kind of thing?
friendly amendment.
An amendment, or do we need to start all over again?
I think I would start over again with the motion.
Okay, I withdraw my motion, and therefore I would like to.
I withdraw the second.
Okay, then I go ahead, right?
Proceed.
So you can sit down. So, yeah. Unless there's more questions.
Unless there are any questions or any legal advice, we'll start over again, and I would entertain a motion.
Okay. In the case of PF 18-003, Welsh Subdivision Filing Number 13 Final Plat, I've reviewed the staff report, including all exhibits and attachments, and have listened to the applicant's presentation and any public comment as presented at the hearing, and hereby move to approve this application based on the findings in the staff report, subject to the following conditions. 1. Prior to the signature of the final copy of these plans, the applicant must address Public Works staff comments and concerns. 2. The applicant will pay a total amount of cash in lieu of $38,263.50 prior to recording of the plat, to be distributed as follows. Schools, $19,948.50. Public park, $17,000. That's not really a public park, though, is it?
Well, it's cash in lieu for public.
It's cash in lieu.
Donating land for public park, they would just be paying cash.
So I'm going to modify that to say cash in lieu for $17,582.40, and other public purposes, $732.60. 3. The approval of PF 18-003, Welsh Subdivision Filing Number 13, Final Plat, is contingent on the approval of ASP 18-006, Welsh Subdivision Governor's Run Administrative Site Plan.
Motion made by Commissioner Jackson,
Second.
Seconded by Commissioner Holden. Any further discussion? If not, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed or abstentions? Seeing none, that motion carries. Thank you very much. Are there any commissioner comments this morning? Commissioner Jackson.
Yes, I just want to wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving. I think we each have much to be thankful for, and we have ups and downs in life, but I'm very grateful for all the privileges that I enjoy, and I hope you are as well.
Commissioner Conti.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. And just a small reminder, a truth that I learned many years ago, gratitude is the seedbed of joy. And I hope that we take this Thanksgiving holiday to remind ourselves of all the things that we have to be grateful for. Happy Thanksgiving.
Any other comments? If not, we are adjourned. Till 11 o'clock in the West Arena.